Before anything else tonight, allow yourself to slow down. Not suddenly, not forcefully. Just enough to notice that the day is no longer asking anything from you.
You don't need to move your body.
You don't need to adjust your position. You don't need to prepare yourself for what comes next. You are here, and for this moment, that is enough. God, tonight I come to you carrying the quiet weight of the day. Not just the visible things I did, but the invisible effort it took to move through everything. The thinking, the managing, the holding things together in ways no one else could see. Some of that effort came from responsibility, some from care, some from fear of letting something slip. But this day is finished now. Every conversation that lingered in my mind, every decision I questioned afterward, every moment I stayed alert when I wanted to rest. I place all of it into your hands. I do not need to carry it into the night. I do not need to stay connected to what is already past. I do not need to keep my guard up. I am allowed to rest. God, quiet my thoughts gently, not by pushing them away, and not by demanding silence, but by easing the urgency behind them. The thoughts that replay what I said, the thoughts that imagine what might happen next, the thoughts that try to stay one step ahead. I don't need to follow them tonight. I don't need to solve anything before sleeping. Nothing requires my attention right now. As I breathe slowly, I notice my body beginning to respond. My shoulders loosen. My jaw releases. My breathing becomes deeper, steadier, less guarded. I notice where tension lived today. In my chest, in my stomach, in the way my body stayed ready even during quiet moments. And I invite release into those places now. God, soften my body. Every place that stayed braced, every place that stayed prepared, every place that learned to hold on just in case. I release the need to control outcomes tonight. I release the pressure to make everything turn out right. I release the belief that rest is risky. Tonight, you are watching for me. I don't need to stay alert. I don't need to stay on guard. As I breathe, my body feels heavier. The surface beneath me feels more supportive, steady, and secure. God, I notice now how my mind still tries to stay involved. It reaches for loose ends, unfinished thoughts, small responsibilities that feel important. I don't need to engage with them tonight. I don't need to answer them. I don't need to resolve them before resting. If a thought appears, I let it pass without judgment. I don't chase it. I don't analyze it. Nothing needs my effort right now. God, I release the habit of mental strain, the habit of staying slightly tense, the habit of staying prepared even while resting. This night does not require vigilance. As my breathing slows, I feel my body sink further into rest. The weight of my head is fully supported. My neck no longer needs to hold itself upright. My tongue rests easily. My face softens without effort. Even my thoughts feel heavier now, less sharp, less urgent, less defined. God, if my awareness drifts, let it drift safely. If I move closer to sleep, let it happen without fear. Nothing bad happens when I stop paying attention. Nothing important is lost. Nothing is forgotten. While I rest, you remain present. While I sleep, you remain attentive. I am not abandoning anything tonight. I am simply resting. God, I notice now how unfamiliar deep stillness can feel. When the body finally slows, the mind sometimes looks for movement, stimulation, or something to hold on to. I don't need to give it anything. I don't need to guide my thoughts. I don't need to stay aware. I allow thoughts to rise and fall on their own. If a memory appears, I let it drift past. If an image forms, I let it soften and fade. Nothing I think about right now requires action. Nothing I remember requires fixing. This night does not belong to effort. God, let the quiet deepen. Not an empty quiet, not a lonely quiet, but a quiet that feels full and steady. A quiet that holds me without asking anything from me. A quiet where rest happens naturally. I don't need to fall asleep quickly. I don't need to stay awake. However this night unfolds is acceptable. There is no wrong way to rest. God, I begin to feel my breathing without trying to control it. In and out, slow and easy, each breath finding its own rhythm. My chest rises gently and falls again. Nothing needs to be adjusted. Nothing needs to be improved. My body knows how to rest. God, I give you the spaces between thoughts, the pauses between breaths, the moments where nothing is happening. These spaces are safe. I don't need to fill them. I don't need to explain them. If awareness fades, let it fade. If consciousness drifts, let it drift. I am not losing anything by letting go. I am not missing anything important. This moment is complete. God, I release the need to know what comes next. I release the urge to stay aware. I release the habit of monitoring myself. I don't need to check if I am resting correctly. Rest does not need supervision. While I rest, you remain steady. Nothing requires me right now. My body feels heavy, supported and held. I do not need to move. I do not need to respond. I do not need to stay alert. This night is enough. If these longer prayers help you rest at night, you're welcome to subscribe and return whenever you need. And now, I return to prayer. God, I place tomorrow into your hands. Not with plans, not with conditions, not with preparation. Tomorrow does not need my effort tonight. What I need will meet me when I wake. I am allowed to sleep. Let peace settle where control once lived. Let calm replace tension. Let rest take over. With every breath, my body grows heavier. My thoughts slow. My heart softens. Nothing is required of me now. This night belongs to rest. Remain near as I sleep. Remain steady. Remain gentle. I am held. I am safe. Amen.